If you think gigging is all free bars, easy money, and screaming fans, then you're dreaming. The reality is way less glamorous, and if you don't figure this out early, you're going to burn out really fast. My name's Alex, and I've been a full-time professional musician in Sydney for the last 10 years, and I've played well over 1,500 gigs in that time. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I wish someone beat me over the head with before I ever stepped on stage. We're going to rip straight into them today. The first one is a cover is your rendition, not the studio version. You're not a jukebox. If the crowd wanted to hear the exact studio version of a song, they would have stayed at home and listened to it on Spotify. The crowd doesn't care if every note is exact. What they care about is how it feels. It's the energy, the twist, the way you deliver it. That's what kind of makes it memorable and makes it stick out. You can spend hours practicing specific riffs and the way the song flows, but realistically, it's your cover. You're doing your version of it and people are watching you, not the original artist. Something you can do straight away is pick a cover that you love to play and break a rule. Speed it up, slow it down, put a reggae beat on it, make it yours. People are way more likely to remember a creative spin on a song than they are to remember you doing yet another version of an exact replica of that song. Secondly, treat it as a business. If you treat gigging as a hobby, then everyone else will as well. Remember this, you're one business dealing with another business, whether it's a venue, a client, a promoter, whoever. They're running their own operations and you're running yours. If you show up messy or you're vague with communication, you're disorganized, they're not going to take you seriously. And why should they? But if you act professional, then you're instantly going to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. Being a great musician isn't enough. Sending through quotes, deposits, invoices, and being clear with communication the entire time is what will make people want to work with you again. The more you improve your ability to operate as a business, the more successful you'll become. Something you can do is build a simple system for each gig, using templates for invoices and quotes and just changing key information that you can just reuse and speed up the process for you because nobody likes doing the back end. I use a very simple Google Forms and Google Sheets system to generate my invoices, and I could show you that in a future video if you'd like. Another thing to remember is that you're not just a musician, you're in customer service too. As I said, every gig is you, one business working with another business, and just like any other industry, people don't just remember the product, they remember how easy you were to deal with. Be the act that turns up on time, communicates everything clearly, and works with the staff instead of against them. Be the person that makes the sound text night easier. Be the person that the bar staff actually like having around. Because when a venue and a client know that you're reliable and professional, they're going to book you again, even over someone who's maybe more talented than you are. The fourth one is content is currency. The gig doesn't end when you pack up. If you're not capturing content, then you're wasting half the value of being on stage. 1 2-hour gig can fuel a week's worth of posts. Crowd shots, clips of requests, a funny moment or two, or you just playing a song really well. Post it, tag the venue, tag members of the crowd if you can, and suddenly that gig keeps working long after the night's over. If you're not posting, then you don't exist outside of the room. If you don't exist online, then you're invisible to bookers, to clients, or future gigs. So the way around this is to record something at every gig. One thing. Get one clip out of every single gig. Use your phone, use a professional camera, do whatever you want, but don't leave without one usable clip that you can post. One gig equals one piece of content minimum. The real thing that I wish someone had told me beforehand is not every gig is going to be glamorous or even fun. If you think every gig is going to be packed rooms and screaming fans, you're in for a big awakening. Some nights you'll be playing to 3 people and 2 of them are bar staff. And some nights you're going to feel sick or exhausted, or you're just not feeling it. And that's completely normal. The real difference between an amateur and a professional is the pro is going to show up and deliver every time no matter what. Because every gig, even the rough ones, builds your reputation, builds your stamina, and improves any future bookings that you may have. If a gig is completely empty and completely dead, maybe it's time to try that new song you've been thinking about. You can get away with it in those kind of gigs. Don't judge a gig by how fun it was to play. Judge it on how well you delivered under the circumstances. If you can still bring it on a night that sucks, then you're going to fly on the nights that really matter. So there's 5 things I wish I knew before I started gigging. Covers don't have to be carbon copies. Treat it like a business and remember you're in customer service. Content is king. And not every gig is going to be glamorous or even fun, but they all matter. If you take this on board, you'll be building a career instead of just the occasional fun night out. If you want to keep leveling up your gigs, check out this video right here or any across the channel. They're all made to make you better, booked more, and paid probably.